Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So if you guys want to see more video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I also have a lot of exciting news to share with you guys, but I'm gonna save that for my next video. Thank you guys so much for your support and for being patient. I have always wanted to see America and everything it has to offer. So when my dad bought a camper van for us to go on trips in, I knew this was my chance. And that's why we decided to embark on an epic road trip across America. Our first stop on our road trip was one of the most iconic places in America, the Grand Canyon. It is one of those places that you hear about when you are young and you see pictures and you think, wow, it looks so cool. But until you actually get there, you don't know how amazing it truly is. We hiked down into the canyon and stopped at various viewpoints along the way up. And honestly, it just blew me away. The colors, the textures, the layers of history all stacked on top of each other. I have never seen anything like it. After leaving the Grand Canyon, we drove through Arizona, stopping at some quirky roadside attractions like the Leaning Water Tower and the Mystery Castle. Then we entered New Mexico and visited White Sands Missile Range National Park. This place was super interesting because it's not your typical national park. Instead of natural formations, it's filled with remnants of rocket launches and missiles. It really gave me an appreciation for the history of space exploration. Then we went to Carlsbad Caverns National Park. I had no idea what to expect when we got there. But once we started descending into the caverns, I was blown away by the size and beauty of these underground caves. The formations were just amazing. We also saw some pretty cool wildlife like bats everywhere. We could have spent hours down there exploring. Next up was Texas. I had never been here before, so I was excited to experience everything it has to offer. First, we visited the Alamo and learned about its history. It was super inspiring to see the place where so many brave people fought for their freedom. We also explored downtown San Antonio and walked around the River Walk. It was beautiful. There was live music, food, and a nice atmosphere. Then we made our way to Austin, which is known as the live music capital of the world. We caught a show at the Continental Club, and it was so much fun. The music scene here is definitely different from anywhere else I have been. Everyone seemed to be super passionate about it. We continued on to Louisiana and made our way to New Orleans, which is known as the Big Easy. We strolled through the French Quarter and Jackson Square, admiring the architecture and street performers. The energy in this city is unlike anywhere else I have ever been. It is truly unique. We also took a swamp tour and saw alligators, turtles, and all kinds of cool birds. Next up was Florida. We flew into Miami and rented a car. Our first stop was Everglades National Park, where we went on an airboat tour and saw lots of alligators and other wildlife. Then we headed over to the Florida Keys and made our way up to Key West. On the way, we stopped at various beaches and enjoyed the crystal clear water and the beautiful views. In Key West, we took a snorkeling tour and saw all kinds of colorful fish and coral. It was amazing. From there, we drove back to Miami and spent some time exploring the city. We walked around South Beach, Lincoln Road, and Wynwood Walls. Falls. It was great to experience the different neighborhoods and cultures of this city. After leaving Florida, we drove up the East Coast, making stops in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. We visited Savannah, which is known for its beautiful squares and antebellum architecture. It was really nice to stroll around and take in the history and charm of this city. We also stopped at Charleston, which has a rich history and is home to Fort Sumter, where the first shots of the Civil War were fired. We toured the fort and learned about its significance. As we continued our journey, we couldn't help but notice the stunning fall foliage. It was the perfect time of year to be driving through these states, as the trees were ablaze with color. We made sure to stop at scenic overlooks and hiking trails to take it all in. Next up was Washington, D.C. We spent a day exploring the city and visiting iconic landmarks like the White House, the Capitol Building, and the Washington Monument. It was fascinating to learn about the history of our country as capital and to see the power and majesty of the federal government in action. From there, we headed up to New York City and spent a few days exploring all that this vibrant metropolis has to offer. We walked around Times Square, Central Park, and the Empire State Building. It was amazing to experience the energy and excitement of the city that never sleeps. We also took a ferry to Liberty Island and Ellis Island and learned about the history of immigration to the United States. It was a powerful and moving experience. Leaving New York was tough, but we had to keep going. Our next stop was Niagara Falls. I had never seen anything like this before, so I was excited to check it out. The falls were absolutely breathtaking, and I felt very small in comparison. It was also fun to cross the border from the US into Canada and back again. Our next stop was Chicago. Here we visited Millennium Park and walked around the Art Institute of Chicago. We also took a boat tour on Lake Michigan and saw the city from a different perspective. It was great to experience the culture and architecture of this bustling city. As we continued our journey, we couldn't help but notice the vastness and diversity of the United States. From the mountains to the deserts to the forests to the cities, this country has it all. We had seen so much already, but we knew that our journey was not over yet. Our next stop was Badlands National Park in South Dakota. I had never seen anything like this before. The rugged rock formations and sparse vegetation of the Badlands were unlike any landscape I had ever seen before. It was amazing to hike through the park and explore the caves and canyons. From there, we headed to Mount Rushmore National Memorial, and I was blown away by the sheer size and grandeur of this monument. The faces of the presidents were incredible, and it was amazing to learn about the history behind the sculpture. Next up was Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. This place is truly amazing. We saw geysers, hot springs, waterfalls, and all kinds of wildlife, including bison, elk, and wolves. It was an incredible experience. From there, we headed to the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. The jagged peaks and pristine lakes of this area are absolutely stunning. We went hiking and enjoyed the fresh air and beautiful scenery. Our next stop was Utah and Arches National Park. This place is like something from another planet. We hiked to Delicate Arch and were blown away by the size and beauty of this natural formation. We also visited Canyonlands National Park, which is even more remote and rugged than Arches. The views were incredible, and we felt like we were truly off the beaten path. Our last stop on our road trip was Las Vegas. We spent a few days exploring the city and checking out the famous casinos and entertainment. It was fun to experience the energy and excitement of this unique city. And that's how our epic road trip across America went. We traveled to 23 states in 47 days, and it was truly an experience of a lifetime. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to see all of the amazing places and experience all of the different cultures and people that this country has to offer. Now, if you are planning on doing a road trip like this yourself, then I do have some tips for you. First, make sure to plan your route ahead of time and book your hotels in advance. You don't want to be driving around with no place to stay. Second, pack snacks and drinks for the road. It can get expensive and tiring to stop at gas stations and convenience stores all the time. Third, be flexible with your schedule. Things will go wrong and plans will change. Just roll with the punches and go with the flow. And lastly, take lots of pictures and videos. You're gonna want to remember this experience forever. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.